The university in Timbuktu is the first university ever in the world or ever on earth. Let's talk about education today. The educational system of both the one we used to practice before and the one that we practice now. Most people believe the coming of the Europeans brought education to us. Why? Whereas they fail to understand what education in a nutshell means. What they brought to us was Western education or not education. Education go beyond the four walls of a classroom. But even at that, we had it before they came. We taught them. If you listen to Shakespeare and the rest, then you get to know how they sat on the feet of Egyptians to learn for years. To tell you, we have always been a great people. Then I want us to talk about the educational system we practice today, the fault in it. It is no longer a story that the educational system we practice in Africa today is not favorable to Africans. We study things that doesn't relate to humanity. We study things that doesn't directly have an impact on us. You go to secondary school, you see people labeling and giving a classwork or homework, whatever it's called, to label a butterfly, to label a house cockroach. When you grow up, what will you do with such things? What will you do with the parts and the different bodies of a cockroach? You label a tree instead of taking them to the farm to plant a tree, taking them to the farm to cut trees down by their branches. We did more of the practical aspects than the theory aspect. Now we do more of the theory. That's why it's not even favoring to us. It's not even helping matters. We have lots of graduates outside with no work because all what they read or what they study can't actually have an effect, a positive effect in the life the society is living. Most of us, we study what we study has no solution to our problems. Whereas we are supposed to study things that will provide solution to the problem in the society. That's why I tell people, to me I feel some subjects or some courses should be scrapped out. Any courses that has nothing to do with directly medical line, like the doctors, the nurses, the lab scientists, pharmacists, those or any other one should be scrapped out. Then courses like engineering, architecture, these major ones, some courses should be scrapped out. There are things that you can just learn on any day. Banking and finance, without reading banking and finance or public or market or whatever it is, you can work in a bank. We have a lot of people that read SLT working in a bank. A lot of people that read computer science working in a bank. The educational system we practice now is not favorable to us. We study things that can't solve a solution in the society. You see someone read mechanical engineering, but he can't couple a car. Someone read computer engineering or computer science, cannot even, the whole class can't produce a phone. The educational system we practice is one of our enemy, one of our biggest enemy. We need to do a reform in it. We need to rearrange it in the way that it will favor us, like we have always been doing in the past. We need to study things that will solve the problem in us. You see someone in China, in Japan, studying mining, someone in Europe studying mining, whereas there is no natural resource beneath their ground. Whereas we that have the problem of natural resource in our ground, we don't study those courses in our universities or in our schools. How wise is it of us? It reflects so poorly of us. Our roads are being built by Pakistanis, Indians, Chinese. Whereas we went to school, we have people that study engineering, highway engineering. So what's the use if you can't give them the contract? That means they didn't study the actual one, they studied the adulterated one. If they can't practice it in the field, our educational system need a reform. It actually need a reform because I don't see where it will get us to. We're only creating graduates with no jobs, graduates that can't provide solutions. Let's go back to who we used to be. Let's go back to the educational system we used to have, that of practical, that you will learn and see. You go and do and you see it happen in your eye. You don't label branches. You plant a tree and water it to see it grow. You don't let them label grasshoppers and the rest. What will it do for us? Nothing. We need to put in more work in our educational system. Our curriculum should totally be set aside, and a new one should be put in place. I'm not saying no, we should do away with education or schools. No, I'm calling for a reform of it.